promise you golden demons, this is Nurse Hatchet. You are listening to the Wolf Pack.
The genre of horror is a great expanse. We want to explore it. We've spent years building our credibility, our reputation, interviewing people from all levels of horror, discussing visual and literary horror. This is our exploration. This is Splatter Horror.
Just call me Sitar. Hello. Welcome to another Spectrum Horror episode. I am Sitar, and with me is Eric Morse.
You are not the goddess Sitar. How dare you? No, Sitar is beautiful and she's got a gut with teeth on it. And oh yes.
And joining us is Joshua La Rue.
There must have been a mistake. My name is Charles.
Huh?
I said there must have been a mistake. The name is Charles Lee Ray. No, thanks for having me on. I'm a multiple personality disorder. Charles pops in, and then this guy named Fred pops in. He's always like, pleasant dreams. And it's just, I can't control it.
He's the horror librarian narrator. Oh, talk to me, narrator. Talk to me.
Oh, okay, Mr. Highland. You need to get rid of Bazuzu there.
I'm waiting for Gozer to ask me to pick the form.
Yeah.
So how is everybody doing?
Oh, I'm pumped.
I'm sitting here living on Mars. You know, here
oh, yeah, that's
we
right.
got the red skies and we got the dirt and the smoke in the air and stuff.
Is there more fog?
I'm choking.
Is there more fog than the movie The Fog?
No, there's no fog.
It's not just orange. Everybody acts like it's the first time it's been orange like that.
Actually, it is in California. We've never had an orange thing like this.
No, but I'm saying it's happened in other places. It's not something that never happens. When there's a bunch of wildfires like that, it's just it's not the end of the world, people.
I know, but we're Californians. We like to panic. You know.
I think everybody likes to panic these days.
Yeah. Plus that, you know, we've never had the sun actually blocked like that. It's
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Imagine living in the Dust Bowl, man. That would have been crazy.
Oh fuck no. Oh God. Okay, so Mr. Highland, actually Josh, you're gonna love this. This is Mr. Highland's favorite part of the show. We do this, first thing after we do our introduction.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and this is something that Mr. Highland demands, because if he doesn't get it, he gets real angry, and I really don't want to have to deal with him. Seriously, on a weekly basis, he goes, we got any fan mail?
No, I don't. Not that often.
I want fan mail.
Yeah,
Balls.
As long as you don't have a letter from a kid named Andy, I'll be all right.
At least I don't ask every day.
So, anyways, yes. So, people, I'm just telling you, get us fan mail. Lots and lots of fan mail, because, I don't want Mr. Highland giving me shit. He gets angry, and it's because of his violence that we don't get shown in Taiwan. We get them Taiwan ones, and some of those South African tribes we don't get there either, because of Mr. Highland and his violence. That's why kids can't watch this show, because of Mr. Highland.
Okay.
Alrighty, fan mail. Our first fan mail is from Edith from Fresno. Hello, Christopher and William. Both my boys and myself love your show. Roger is 13 and Dawn is 12. We always get together for your show to listen when it comes out. We were very disappointed a few months ago when you talked about that Sodom film. I only allowed the kids to listen to your horror news and movie reviews. They were very unhappy because they really love your show. Please consider that you might have younger people listening when you choose the films to talk about. Well, the thing is, Edith, for us, we don't do the show for kids. I mean, unfortunately, the thing is that if we do, YouTube really gets down on us, so we always mark our shows not for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything?
I hadn't considered that, but thanks for letting us know, and we will certainly take that into consideration. And
can I say something?
Besides that, just a second.
Sure.
That movie we discussed, that was quite rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't sound like something y'all would like, the sort of thing y'all would do a lot.
Oh, of course not. No,
but if you've got kids listening to the show, I want to teach you a little game. It's called Hide the Soul.
Awesome. And I want to thank Edith for
sounds like a cool person.
us this letter, because thank you. Because now Mr. Highland won't be torturing me like that again.
No, and certainly won't be torturing. And I certainly won't be torturing myself with any of the films that scared me.
Yeah.
That we discussed on the last season finale.
Yeah.
At least you guys don't have a crazy guy making you watch bad movies every other week.
Yeah. Oh,
We got this guy named
I heard
Master
about
Evil.
that guy.
Yeah, Master Evil. He's going to make me watch Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys.
You are?
In about a week and a half. What's that?
Yeah, I have a suspicion that Mr. Highland's actually Master Evil.
Really?
I already think that he's Doomcock.
Well, whoever it is sent me a bunch of Cocoa Pebbles, my favorite cereal.
Wasn't me.
Opened them all up, and it was all Fruity Pebbles on the inside.
Wasn't me.
Diabolically evil right there.
Yeah, and he's got a cat named Mr. Flivel.
Ooh, I didn't do it. It was me.
And you know, I
don't know. That sounds pretty close. Alrighty, so we got another fan letter here.
Woo, woo.
Oh boy. This is from Glitter from San Diego. Dudes, I love you guys. You are so much fun and you help me find cool shit. You also give me ideas of cool movies to watch. You guys are awesome. Where do you guys find your movies? I want to know because sometimes I have trouble finding movies you talk about. You want to start, Mr. Highland?
Yes. Well, given my repertoire of research capabilities, I usually find them online, but that always is not the case. I can also find them at the library, getting them via interlibrary loan. Let's see, anything else?
That's not where you found the movie that was in the last letter, was it?
Oh, well, I stumbled upon that due to research.
Okay.
But as I said before, heavy research. I mean, you gotta. It's either direct or indirect. I mean, you gotta bounce around ideas from one to another, and sometimes you gotta stumble upon things in a roundabout manner, and you find things that you wouldn't normally think of or look for, and you think, oh, what's this? I never thought to look for this, or never would have realized this existed. And that's usually how some of these movies are discussed, or they're mentioned in various horror groups.
Cool.
And that's another option.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That's the Mr. Highland way of doing it. Me, I'm easy. I go to Tubi TV. I go to Pluto TV. I go to, let's see.
You gotta check out Soap Today, man.
And I also go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Because some stuff on YouTube. So the thing is that you just have to look around. And then, of course, Mr. Highland introduced me to Daily Motion, which is a good site if you're looking for some of the rare stuff. Though it's not really something that you can really depend on, because I went to look for a certain movie that I've been looking for called The Thing That Wouldn't Die. And
you mean the brain that wouldn't die?
No, The Thing That Wouldn't Die.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Isn't that like Trolls?
No, this is
Internet Trolls, my bad.
That Wouldn't Die.
That Wouldn't Die.
It's an old 1960s film that is about a head.
That's the brain that wouldn't die.
No,
it sounds like.
Yes, it is.
Nope. Thing That Wouldn't Die.
Oh.
I know. I know. I've actually found the
Meanwhile, Christopher's on Google.
Christopher's on Google.
No, I'm not. I'm walking around just
getting all frustrated and going to turn green on me. Hulk
and I thought you were the Incredible Hulk.
No, you're the one that gets us, thrown out of the Bobwa tribe and shit because of your violence, and we get South Korea. Oh, and China too. We don't appear on China.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, speaking of what I said about a troll, I just want to. Can I use my voice one last time?
Go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I already know my Chucky voice is subpar, so your comments making fun of it, I'll go ahead and laugh at myself with you.
Oh,
go ahead. There you go.
Not bad.
Alrighty. So, anyways, Claire. So yeah, just look around. I mean, there's a lot of resources to go to, and you can usually find, if you check on Netflix, you can usually find a lot of stuff because they have a lot of old stuff. You just have to really look for it, and they have stuff that'll surprise the hell out of you. I know. I've looked through Netflix and
I picked up a Hitchcock DVD pack the other day.
Oh, cool!
And so he's one of the best directors ever in horror and suspense.
Yeah,
but there was a couple of them. I'm not going to say the names. I don't want to get attacked for it. But a couple of his movies just put me to sleep. But for the most part, man, he was way ahead of his time. Like, there's movies from back then that if it was like written as a modern screenplay, it would be one of the best horror movies we've had in years.
Oh yeah,
and we need something like that in Hollywood right now. A big shot in the arm.
Oh yeah. Alrighty, so anyways, that is our fan mail. As I said, please, people, send us fan mail.
Fan
mail
or I'm gonna turn into a werewolf and bite Eric Morse on the ankle.
Yeah, right. Anyways,
I asked for fan mail, and all I got was old air conditioner that didn't work. Shipped to me USPS. So.
Another Master
They
Eagle
took it
fan?
literal. Yeah, he just took it literal. He said, "You want fan mail? Here you go. Here's a fan sent to you through the mail."
Oh.
Cool. So, anyways,
no, that guy sucks, man. He sucks.
Fan mail to the Eric Morse Show at gmail.com. And just do it for Mr. Highland because he loves that stuff. It makes his month.
Oh.
Yes, it makes me happier than a little girl.
Yes,
Isn't that
it does.
special? Isn't that so special?
Okay, so now it is time, Mr. Highland, for us to have the feast for Sheetar.
Oh, we're not doing the news and reviews next?
No, we do that because we have a guest.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, see,
he's
here.
Mr. Liar La Rue
there was
over here in the
another
corner.
voice here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do any more.
Okay, Mr. Highland, let us get in since you're the one that brought it in.
All right. Well, last night, this was the third time that I've seen this movie, and how can I praise the loveliness of this movie? Just the absolute glory of this movie. I could just bathe in it. If it would be like red Jello.
Really?
I would just
Calm down.
sink into a tub of it slowly.
What have I gotten into?
Indeed.
Yeah, I know. Welcome to my world.
Welcome
You know, my
to our
first thing
nightmare
with that
palace.
movie
Yes.
with Blood Diner was, what was it, like WTF? I mean, the movie starts, you know, with this guy, this uncle guy showing up, and his nephews are there, and like the cops are saying, you know, he's out there, he's got a gun in one hand and his genitals in the other, and he's in there talking to to his nephews about what he's doing. He just goes outside
and he breaks
gets shot
down the door before that, and they think, oh, they're after them, and it's their uncle.
And you find out he cut it off. He cut his own thing off because he didn't do the ritual right or whatever, you know. And then the movie just jumps forward in time, and they're like building a woman for this ritual or something. It's been a long time since I saw it, but I'll never forget the beginning.
They have to dig up his body and get his brain, and they put his brain in a jar.
Yeah.
And the thing is that they're supposed to be running a vegetarian restaurant.
Yeah.
But they're serving body parts. Which blows.
God, the ironiest of ironies.
Yeah.
Sounds
And
like
everyone's
Queen
going,
Charlotte.
oh my God.
It would be like the characters from Texas Chainsaw Massacre were to open up a diner, you know?
Well, actually, in
Surprised they haven't.
Massacre
In the
2,
movie.
they actually did the catering truck. Or don't you remember?
That?
They won the chili contest stuff.
Oh yeah. That was part 2. Yeah.
Yeah, and they sold ribs and sandwiches and stuff. Hilarious. Yeah, you're just the cook. God damn.
God, it would be ironic if they drove the Oscar Mayer wiener in one of the films.
Yeah, I can see kind of a comparison between like Sweeney Todd and, you know, him killing people and, you know, pretty much his girlfriend making the meat pies with the bodies and stuff. And then you got these guys with their vegetarian diner and they're feeding people to people. It's a very tongue-in-cheek horror movie though. You know, it's kind of a comedy. It's kind of like a Return of the Living Dead feel to it, you know, when it comes to the pace of the movie and like the dramedy horror. What's the word for mixing horror and comedy together? You know,
schlock.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you cannot tell me that this movie is not part comedy. Sorry.
Oh yes, it has to be part comedy because they
comedy. No. It's all comedy. The whole thing.
It's very Return of the Living Dead for me. That's
this movie doesn't gross me
out.
out.
I can get to it. This movie doesn't gross you out?
Yeah.
What grosses you out about Return of the Living Dead?
Oh my God. Well, let's see, the Tar Man.
He scared me as a kid.
Let's see, what else?
Showing my age there.
That half of the corpse where they're talking to it and
half body.
Don't
tell me the naked woman scared you.
No, the half corpse where they're talking to it and the corpse says, "Oh, we want brains." I mean, my God, the detail of that thing is just gross.
So
Return
of the Living Dead grosses you out, but that other movie didn't.
when she's attacking and she's going like biting the one's heads off or tops of their heads off.
I loved it though, especially when you found out like destroying the brain didn't stop them. You know.
Yeah.
That was what was cool about Return. But yeah, I was trying to make an example about like the feel of the movie, and you kind of get that feel with Blood Diner, in my opinion.
Yeah, it kind
like the
of
comedy
had a
horror
Lloyd
aspect.
Kaufman feel to it. You know, very, very much the overacting, the noises in the thing, and that it was very over the top, which is the way Lloyd
don't
does
forget
his.
don't forget the soundtrack. Remember the soundtrack? Oh man.
Oh God, yeah, Mr. Highland's favorite hits, the Nazi metal band.
Oh come on!
Of course.
So is Highland your soundtrack guy? Like Sean is my soundtrack guy. Like over on Out of Print Slashers, he's all about the soundtracks, you know. And like I don't remember a lot of soundtracks. Like I enjoy them when I'm watching the movie, but I'm not the kind of person that's like, oh, the soundtrack was awesome, because I don't remember everything, you know. I'm like more enthralled with the movie. I like sound effects and Foley artists and stuff, like the noises for horror movies, when they make those sound really gruesome and realistic. And, you know, kind of the ominous tone that plays in suspenseful scenes. That's the kind of stuff I pick up on sounds and music in movies that I really like.
Well,
but who's on the soundtrack?
Well, let me see. A bunch of people. I don't know.
Told you, he's on Google.
No. Most of the stuff is from the 50s.
Don't you love that when older music is used in a horror movie? It just, for some reason, it makes it even creepier.
Yes, indeed. The Dewtones and the Penguins.
Have you ever seen one of my intros for like a Freddy book where I use All You Have to Do Is Dream for the intro?
Oh, no.
Yeah, check that out sometime. William saw it, and and he even agreed it made it kind of creepy. And I even used a version of the song from the Freddy Krueger record.
Well, the soundtrack fits the context of this film perfectly.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine any other music being used with it.
Really? You don't think it could have like a country music, just all Garth Brooks for the whole thing?
It wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't.
Okay, so
I would think
it's been a while since I've seen it.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, get some Garth Brooks, Hank Williams. Just that would work for them because they're like in the South and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but I remember it just being crazy. So I'm just going to sit back for a minute and listen to you guys talk about it.
Okay. Well, as you guys were saying before, they have to make a composite body for the goddess Sheetar, and they're towards the beginning of the film, they gun down a bunch of ladies and cut body parts off of them, and I'm watching them use an electric knife and seeing the jiggle of muscle. It made me think of Frankenhooker. And I thought to myself, you know, if someone were to have a midnight double feature for horror comedies, you know, they could have Blood Diner and Frankenhooker back to back, and that would make a pretty good double feature.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because God, I can't even remember the name of the director of Frankenhooker, Herzberger.
Frank Henenlotter.
See, he remembers this stuff. I'm getting old. I'm really getting old, Mr. But yeah, I mean,
too.
Seriously, and of course, they also had to set up the feast for the thing.
So if you had this put on you by like a relative that you looked up to and you worshiped the ground they walked on like they did their uncle, would you be able to carry out this ritual from the movie?
Oh, God. I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know.
He has to become Dr. Frankenstein, you know. There's a very
Yeah,
Frankenstein
pretty
feel
much.
to the movie.
Yes.
So you're you know, putting it side by side with Frankenhooker isn't too far of a stretch.
No, it's not.
But I always love in horror movies where the master plan of the bad guys always backfires on them, you know, and I love it when it turns on them. And just 80s gave us so much of that. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I love how they try to parody the usual horror stuff. Like the sex scene that they had with the ones in the cave. That was hilarious.
Oh.
You remember that one?
Did you guys know this movie was originally supposed to be a sequel to Blood Feast?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually,
and they
from what I
decided to make
gather, it
standalone.
was supposed to be a remake of it.
Yeah, and they decided to just make it its own thing. But yeah, little bit of information I thought I'd share. Wasn't sure if y'all knew that.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys think of the detectives?
They're great.
They could have
I
had their
love
own
the
TV
fact
show.
that they got Janet Jackson in
That's not Janet. Just looks like her.
Yeah, Janet Jackson in the film.
No.
I think her name is Sheba Jackson in the film.
Yeah.
No, but you know, there's a reason why they named the character that. Maybe they thought it looked familiar. Maybe they thought, you know, she looked familiar, looked like her too. Maybe that's what she was going for, you know, because Janet Jackson was, you know, a big thing back then. So I can see actresses wanting to emulate that in their performance. People do that nowadays. You know, they'll try to look just like another celebrity to play off of it. So I get that, you know. But yeah, these detectives, you know, they could have had their own like detective show, you know. Really mismatched.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love them. You know, that's you know, a little added piece of class to this is that you had the the really greasy, nasty detective with the smooth no
No nonsense.
Yeah. Pretty much. No nonsense and that. And I love, one thing I also loved is I love the fact that, after the uncle is dead, he still has personality all through the film. So
yeah, I mean, you have to wonder how he's speaking when he doesn't have any vocal cords. Just a head. It's just a brain and eyes and a jar.
And eyes. You know what the brain in the jar reminded me of? I don't know if you guys remember this, but it was a big thing back in like the late 80s and up to like the mid 90s. There was this kid's toy pack, and it was like you could make gummy things, and it was like a mad doctor was like the character on the box, and you could make like creepy crawly things. You can make like this brain, and the brain in the movie looked like one of those like gelatin type gummy things that you could just pull out and eat. You know, it didn't look like a I didn't think real brain when I saw it. I thought more like Jell-O mold. But the eyes definitely brought back memories of like Tar Man for me because he scared the hell out of me as a kid. But anyway, sorry.
Oh no, that's great.
I want to go back a little to the soundtrack. I mean, this should be on not only vinyl but on a CD as well. I mean, this is one of the best horror soundtracks ever.
I wonder if there's a book for the movie.
Yeah.
Really? You think it's one of the best?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Oh my
I
God!
don't know. Well, then again, I don't remember the whole soundtrack, but I know there's a lot of competing movies in the 80s that had amazing soundtracks, so I don't know. I'd have to listen again.
Well, at least for horror comedies.
Do you know if there's a novelization for the movie? Did that ever happen?
No.
Oh, darn it. Write me one and I'll read it. I can't wait to deliver the line. Okay, be careful, folks. He's got a gun in one hand and his genitals in the other. He is considered armed and very dangerous. Penisy. Dangerous. But yeah, that line is something I'll never forget about this movie.
Well, speaking of the soundtrack,
He's got
I love
his gun in one hand and genitals in the other.
Yeah, I didn't realize that he cut it off. I thought, oh, he was just, cradling it, while walking.
Well, when they first start talking to the brain, he tells them whenever they're like, when the woman's up there and they're doing the stuff at the beginning, he's like, I messed up when I did it. You got to make sure you don't mess up. Because I didn't do it right. I cut off my own Johnson.
Oh,
it's like, why? I guess if he messed up the ritual, that's what he has to do. But yeah, that's why he cut it off. It's right there. After they dig him up, like the first time they talk to him, he explains why he cut it off. It's kind of a throwaway line, so you have to really listen to catch it. But that's the kind of stuff from the movie I remember, because it's just like, wow, they're really going there.
Yeah, and of course, there's one scene I have to talk about in detail.
What?
Because it's one of Mr. Highland's favorite ones.
What?
The nude aerobic scene.
I was asking if he's stone cold now. He keeps saying what?
I thought you were going to talk about where they go back to the diner with the ladies.
No.
No?
I'm talking about the nude aerobic scene where they chop them up.
I kept expecting Lena Quigley to be in there.
Yeah, she always likes to take off her top. That blows me away. Did I ever tell you, Mr. Highland, that I actually met Leanna?
Yeah, I did.
Epic Con. Loved it.
She was the one from Return of the Living Dead too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, she wasn't comfortable going full nude, so she wanted to wear a like a cod piece down there. So she's like a Barbie doll if you pay attention in Return of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah.
It's platinum covered. But yeah.
Yeah.
She said there was no way of
what was your
hiding certain features.
favorite remember Mr. Highland when we actually had the guy who played the black guy in that? He was talking about the fact that it was his first film and Leanna didn't put clothes on in between shots. So she'd just be walking around the set nude.
Are you sure it was me that you were discussing that with?
Yeah, it was we had the actor on Horror Chat.
Well, oddly enough, I don't remember.
Because you were more interested in talking to him about Friday the 13th Part 5.
Are you talking about Miguel Nunez Jr.?
Yes.
Yes.
Y'all had him on the show, really?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you were talking all about,
I didn't realize he was in Blood Diner.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's in Return of the Living Dead.
When we mentioned Leanna Quigley,
Mm-hmm.
I was mentioning the fact that his first film was Return of the Living Dead. That was his first film.
No,
he's a good actor. He did like tons of movies.
5 after.
If there was a red box back then, he would be like Nicolas Cage is the red box. Like every time you go there, there'd be 3 new Miguel Nunez Jr. movies. He was in so many movies in the 80s and 90s. He was in Carnosaur 2, Leprechaun in Space. You know, he did a ton of stuff. New Beginning, Return of the Living Dead. He's actually a really good actor, and I saw recently nowadays he's like a writer and stuff.
Yeah, it was fun having him on. I mean, he told us all these cool stories about doing Return of the Living Dead and that, and doing Friday the 13th and stuff. Yeah, he said that bathroom, you know, the bathroom scene was hilarious because you know, they you know, the thing that they impaled him with in the scene, they made him accidentally hit him in the side with it, and he ended up almost going to the hospital because they jabbed him with that thing.
Oh, you know, there had to be a lot of times on the set of slasher movies where somebody got hurt a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Or a lot back in the 80s. Because a lot of the practical stuff they did it without stunt people. Some of the more primitive slasher movies from that era didn't use a lot of stunt people. And, you know, some people got hurt. You just know it.
Yeah, for example, Friday the 13th Part 2.
Oh, yeah, he had to go to the freaking hospital.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and one that Mr. Highland knows very well is our dear Wolfpack member Debbie Rochon. She damaged her hand doing American Nightmare. She got caught with a knife, machete. It cut her hand.
Jesus.
Really, she ended up with damage to her nerves and stuff.
Man, I've never been a stunt person, but when I was pro wrestling, that's like stunt work every time you wrestle. And one time I broke my nose. It was touching my cheek. I had to set it back, set my knee back in place. So hearing that stuff, man, not only does it make me cringe, but like I can feel it.
Oh, yeah.
God, man, I got so much respect for stunt workers. So much respect.
Hey, Josh, just to find out something, did you ever have to do the thing where you cut your eyebrow with the
well, it's not the eyebrow, but yeah, what you do is you go to your hairline with the razor, and it's like right after you get hit by a chair or a ladder or something, or just, you know, a bunch of punches, you go up there. The referee, there's 2 ways to get your blade in the ring. One way is you break off a little piece of razor blade, and you put a couple layers of tape, athletic tape around your wrist, and then you put the little piece of razor blade there, and you wrap 1 layer around it of athletic tape, and that way when you need it, you can just reach in there and get it, and you wrap the little piece in athletic tape too, so it don't cut you while it's on your wrist, and then you just press it hard against your hairline, and it cuts through the tape around it and cuts you. Or here's the more obvious one. Sorry, I'm not trying to go off on a tangent here, guys, but this is actually pretty cool.
Oh, no problem. I mean,
Right.
we go all over the place when we're talking films.
Well, if you ever watch wrestling, I know WWE doesn't do blading and bleeding anymore, but I think AEW and Impact does. But if you ever see the referee getting right in like a wrestler's face, you know, and like if you watch real closely, I think it's like Royal Rumble 91 or something, Sergeant Slaughter has a match against Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you can actually see the referee standing there arguing with Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter reaches into the referee's pocket real fast, and the next thing you know, Hacksaw Jim Duggan's bleeding. The referee will pass the blade. For let's say a Triple H gets hit with a chair, and the referee gets down on the mat to check on him. He can sit there and put his hand on Triple H's hand like he's checking on him, but what he's really doing is handing him the blade. Triple H will then cut himself. The referee will pick the blade up, put it in his pocket. It's sleight of hand. But the funny story is about the first time I did it. I was in a ladder match, and I was too afraid to cut myself. I was afraid I was going to do it too deep. And I was wrestling my friend Jimmy. He's the one that died of a heart attack at 24. And he hit me with the ladder. We went underneath the ring like we were rolling around fighting on the outside. I was like, okay, cut me. And he's like, dude, I'm not wearing my glasses. I didn't put my contacts in. I was like, just do it. And he ended up cutting me in the middle of my forehead, so I have a big old scar there now, like really deep. And I was a bad guy, and I was bleeding. And I took 4 aspirin before the match to make it thinner, so it would look more gruesome. Yeah, it was pretty gruesome.
It really was gruesome.
Oh.
In the video I used to have of that match, at the end of the match, we both climbed the ladder on each side, and he slams my head into the top of the ladder, and then I take a bump. I fall back and land in the ring. He gets the belt. He wins. On the video, when he slams my head, it had already clotted up by that point. It busted it back open, and as I fall, you can see a big old drop of blood that came out when I fell follow me down to the ring and land on my head. I was bleeding so bad, and the crowd was like, make him bleed more. I was a bad guy. But anyways, after that, I learned my lesson not to let somebody else do it, because he cut me. He's like, okay, you're bleeding, and I was gushing. But yeah, I've got a big scar in the middle of my forehead and a bunch of little ones on my hairline. You're supposed to cut on your hairline. But if you go back and look at like Dusty Rhodes before he died, look at Ric Flair right now, you'll see like really bad scar tissue on their foreheads. Because back then they would just cut their forehead over and over. Abdullah the Butcher did it so much he had to put Vaseline on his head because just barely touching his forehead would make him bleed.
Yeah, well, I mean, hell, you know, talking about Hollywood, look at Mickey Rourke. You know, he has razor scars on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like that wrestling movie.
Scars, among other things.
I would die in the ring if I could, but now I can't even wrestle because I broke my back in 2010. I miss it so much. I'm actually going to start a podcast about wrestling, I think, with a friend.
Cool.
At least no one bit you on the leg and took a chunk out of your leg like one of the characters in the movie did. Remember?
Yeah, Highland, we got you. We're getting back to the movie. I'm sorry.
Remember, there's a wrestling match in the movie, and one of the brothers bites the guy on the leg, and there's blood going all over the place.
Why not? Mike Tyson did it in a boxing match. Bit dude's ear twice. Damn near holy people. He was getting his butt kicked, so he decided just to bite his ear off.
Yeah, that's one thing I was wondering about Jackie Kong. What was her focus so much on Nazis? I mean, it was amazing. You know, the band was.
There's a Nazi wrestler.
Wrestler was Nazis.
There's Nazis in that band at the end of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
With Hitler, everyone with Hitler doggone mustaches and shit. Even the wrestler had a Hitler mustache.
I don't know.
Jackie just loves Hitler stuff.
I mean, I guess it fits the context.
I think you're a Nazi, baby.
I guess it fits the context of the film. You know, they're just doing parodies, and it's all tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if Jackie has a dog named Himmler. Oh God!
You guys are too much.
But getting back to the soundtrack, the sound, the song that they have when they first go to the Dread Club, that's a great song. That should be included in a soundtrack if it's ever released. And when they pick up the two ladies and bring them back to the diner, that part where one of them is slathering batter all over one of their bodies, and they dip their head in the frying grease, and
Oh
Her
my
head,
God, I
her head
remember.
turns into a big giant donut hole, and
Mhm.
he takes a broom and knocks off her head, and it just goes rolling. and and the others are on the floor doing it, and I'm surprised they don't trip over it or notice it. I mean, what happened to that head? I mean, did they? I mean, you'd think that it would have shown up later in the movie as part of the menu. Like,
Yeah, you would
oh
think.
yeah, we're serving big giant donut holes, and like someone cuts into it, and there's uh strawberry or raspberry filling inside.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get in touch with Jackie Kong and ask her about that, Mr. Highland. What about the donut hole? God damn it! What did you do? Cut it out of the movie? We want to know what happened.
And I don't know if any of you have noticed this. It has kind of a Grand Guignol feel to it. I mean, it's very theatrical. I mean, I can picture this being acted out at horror conventions.
Seriously?
Yeah. But of course, no one would. It would be no one under 21 would be admitted.
Yes,
Because of
of
all the
course.
nudity and blood flying around and people throwing up. Remember the part where the guy throws up on the people?
Mm-hmm.
That would be going on, and you would have the first few front rows of the audience having a big sheet of plastic like in a Gallagher audience.
Yeah, kind of like the exploding
Watermelon.
scarecrow in
Do you have any
Supernatural.
idea how popular that would be? Any idea at all?
Probably would, knowing some of these horror fans.
Oh God, it would be a sold out crowd. Everybody in the whole damn thing would be there watching it. Oh God, people would be dancing their asses off, and they would have a band singing the songs from the movie. Oh God.
Well, the thing is that people are still trying to get Evil Dead the musical done at horror conventions, and they won't do them.
Oh,
It's a shame.
why?
Yeah, you didn't know about that, Mr. Highland? Oh yeah,
Nope.
yeah. For some reason, Adolfo won't do that. Oh well, it's too expensive. Yeah, is right. Yeah, well, Adolfo's not making any money right now, so I think he's gonna need something, when this Corvid thing's over to bring the people back in. And it's gonna have to be more than Kane Hodder, definitely.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, this blood diner. Yeah, do Blood Diner the musical.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
there could be a whole delicatessen of blood diner themed food. Big giant donut holes with raspberry or strawberry jelly inside.
God, you're
And-
right.
and
The
crunchy
raspberry jelly in that
crunchy finger foods, and don't forget head cheese.
Hello?
Yep.
Thought I lost you guys.
Oh.
You did?
Yeah, can you imagine head cheese being served at horror conventions? Not to mention,
Oh my God.
chili.
Derek tried to get chili at um Martinsville Horror Fest. But
Oh, what happened?
no, because these ones wanted, these ones were bitching about the fact. Well, we want meat chili, we want vegetarian chili. So to hell with it, get you we'll get you salad and pulled pork.
Can you imagine? Oh, speaking of the donut holes, can you imagine if they had a whole body, a whole donut body, or a whole donut, a whole cake made out of the body?
Believe it or not,
Whole
they
body
actually
cake?
did that.
Yeah.
One year.
Oh.
They did that at a I think it was Horror Hound.
Oh.
That they did a full body cake. It was a full size body done in cake, and they served it at the after party.
Oh my God. And let me guess, it was strawberry or raspberry filling inside, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, the only reason why I know about this is because Tiffany Shepis was crooning about it. Oh yeah, that was such a good cake.
I wonder what they would have for coconut cake or blueberry filling.
Oh well, let me see. Coconut cake, they'd probably do a Yeti.
Good idea.
Use the coconut for the fur. What do you think, Mr. Highland? Would that work?
I love it.
Yeah. That'd be good for one of these paranormal things. I'll have to mention that to some of my paranormal friends. Yeah. I also remember that one convention they actually had a critter cake too.
Oh my God. Well, they would be easily turned into critter donut holes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they do a lot of interesting ones. Yeah, I think if I recall, they did the giant the giant crite, and the thing is that they used the bakery from Cake Boss to do the critter cake. Turned out fantastic, though.
All I keep hearing is cake and donuts, and I'm like, if Homer Simpson's listening, he's like watering at the mouth right now.
Oh well, that's Mr. Highland's big thing is donuts and cake. He loves it. He's always bugging me about what is it, the pink covered donuts. I told him I get mine over at 7-Eleven. They have them. They actually have the Homer donuts.
Really?
So Simpsons donuts.
Wow,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they still have them at 7-Eleven. You can get them. They're not that fantastic, but it's a cute
guys,
idea.
Oh, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. Did you guys know that The Walking Dead has been canceled?
Yes.
Season 11 is going to be its last, and they're going to do a spinoff with Carol and Daryl or something.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, yeah. I gave up 2 seasons ago. So,
man, I'm telling you, seasons 7 and 8 they suck. I know, but after Rick leaves, it's actually really good. It gets really good with the whispers and everything. I think what they're going to do is with season 11, they're going to wrap up the comic story where they go to the giant community, and
cool.
Yeah, in the comics, the name of it's escaping me right now. What the big group's called, but there's this huge, like thousands upon thousands of people living in a city, and they're trying to rebuild the country. And in the comics, Rick takes everybody there eventually, and a bunch of stuff happens. But without Rick there, they already started teasing this place in season 10. So I think they're going to get them all there, and they're going to wrap the season that way. And it sounds like Daryl and Carol don't want to live in a big city like that, so maybe they'll go off on their own and have their own show. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I wanted to share that with y'all.
Okay.
Cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, a lot of good shows have been canceled. It drives me nuts. They canceled Altered Carbon this year, and oh my God, if you guys haven't seen that show, you need to see it. It's fantastic science fiction. Absolutely fantastic. Mr. Highland would love it because the artificial intelligence guy, he's Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh.
Yeah. Pretty cool character. I love it. They bring Poe in there, and he does this holographic hotel that's Poe related. You know, it's very, you know, like the Raven and stuff, and the Hotel Nevermore, and that pretty cool. Little
Guys,
show.
I wanted to I wanted to thank you guys for having me on tonight.
You're welcome.
It's been a really fun discussion, and I'm glad I got to dig into my memory for Blood Diner, because it really cracked me up remembering the whole thing with the uncle. I always loved that beginning. But I'm gonna have to hop off here. But
Okay.
seriously, thank you guys so much for having me.
You're
I know
welcome.
y'all do like a music thing and news and stuff, but yeah, it was a blast. I hope to come back someday. Blood Diner was a fun movie. Anybody listening, if you haven't seen it, you should really check it out, because it's a really fun 80s horror movie, and it's very much like Return of the Living Dead with a comedy horror ratio. So I definitely recommend it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys, y'all have a great night. Thank you.
Thanks, you too.
Alrighty, catch you later.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Alrighty, anything say on Blood Diner there, Mr.
Yeah. I wanted to say that this has also a kind of a sitcom-y kind of feel to it. I mean, this could be turned into a TV show. I mean, there could be all sorts of scenarios played out.
Huh. A cannibal sitcom.
Yeah.
Interesting. I bet the British will do something like that.
Yes.
Because they do all kinds of stuff. I mean, they did that zombie sitcom.
What?
Yeah, they did a zombie sitcom, you know.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I can't. The name of it, escapes me, but it was pretty good. You know, they do a lot of stuff. I mean, have you ever watched Being Human?
No.
Oh my God! If you ever get a chance, you really need to watch that. Both the English and the American version. I actually prefer the English version over the American version. Though the American version, it's not a very far separation on my love for the two of them, because they're fantastic. But definitely, I mean, it's a series about a vampire, a werewolf, and a ghost living together. in an apartment. It sounds interesting, Mr. Highland.
Yeah, it's kind of like a horror comedy version of The Odd Couple.
Somewhat.
I trust it is a comedy.
Actually, no, it's a drama,
Oh,
but it has some aspects to it. You know, it's all over the place with it. You have some interesting characters. You have, you know, it's brilliant writing on it. So, I mean, you know, if you get a chance to watch it, definitely. I can't remember if they have it on Tubi TV or something. I'll have to take a look and see what I think they've got it on Pluto Television right now. I think they got the English version of it on Pluto Television, so you could check it out there. Free TV.
well, I'm just saying, if a TV show was made out of Blood Diner, I would watch it. Every
A lot of
single
people would watch
week.
it.
Every single week.
Yeah, a lot of people would watch it because, you know, these unique series, I mean, stuff like that would be cool. I mean, shit, I'd watch a
Just like there should be a TV show of The Burbs.
shit, they should do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre one. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you know, before the fall.
But as a horror comedy.
As a sitcom.
Yeah, exactly. They could cast the hitchhiker like a horror comedy version of well, it would be kind of like the Addams Family. I mean, there could be a scenario where a cop comes knocking on their door and demanding to see the person who's missing at the town, and it would be kind of like the part of the movie Clue where the cop comes around and each of the main characters are they pose in different in a funny manner.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it would be interesting because I mean you could have, you know, because they run the gas station. So you have them at the gas station, you have them at the house and stuff. It'd be interesting to examine their little world that they've created.
Yeah. I don't know who they could cast as the characters, but oh my god!
Yeah, wouldn't that be fantastic?
Oh, I'd be rolling on the floor laughing my head off.
Well, I mean, especially with Bubba.
Yeah.
Having him run around. Stop whining, Bubba. Come on, Leatherface. Let's go and, you know, clean out the hog pen. Don't you know how to clean a hog pen there, Leatherface? Oh my god. That'd be great. But anyways, yeah, you know, there's opportunities. Thing is that you have to deal with Hollywood and all their crap, and they don't, you know, they'd ruin it. You know. Anyways, okay, so any last words on Blood Diner?
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
Okay, so what's your rating on the Oogie Boogie scale?
Infinity times infinity out of 5.
Okay. I give it a 3.
Oh.
Well, I'm not as big into it as you are. I liked the film. Okay, it was a good laugh there. But it's not my favorite horror film of all time. So anyway, yeah, so Mr. Highland gives it an infinity, which is weird. Thank God we weren't on the boob scale again. You know, you'd be giving it massive boobs. Infinity of boobs. Yeah. It's overwhelmed with boobs. Okay, so anyways, yeah, now it is time for our music break. And Mr. Highland has spent the entire month looking for these pieces of music. So enjoy.
This is sugar, honey. Listen to me. I need your love and love. Can you sing? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, baby, let's make love. Oh, hold me and kiss me, sweet and tight. I want your love and all day and night. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, baby, let's make love. Let's make some love. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I want you. I want you. I want you so. I need you. I need you. I need you so. I love you. I love you. I love you so. Yes, I do. But sugar, honey, listen to me. Now you're so fine, so mellow and sweet. You're got the peaches, I've got the cream. Let's do it. 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 Do it. Do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, baby, let's make some love. Let's make some love. I love you, baby. I'll tell you why. When you feel me, I'll oh my. Let's do it. 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 Do it. Do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, baby, let's make love. Let's make some love. Baby, let's make some love. Come on, baby. Baby, let's make some love. Let's make a little love. Baby, let's make some love. Oh, come on, baby. Love me tonight.
ICC, we want the mambo. ICC, we want the mambo. ICC, we want the mambo. Mambo. All the kids want the mambo. All the kids want the mambo.
Well, the mambo at home, the mambo at school.
Well, they know they got to mambo if they want to keep cool. ICC, we want the
You
mambo.
got to be cool, amigo. You hear?
ICC, we want the mambo.
And do the mambo.
The grown folks do want the mambo. The grown folks do want the mambo.
Well, they all turn the radios way low down.
check to see them when they're really going to town.
They doing the mambo.
ICC, we want the mambo.
Yeah, the mambo
ICC,
essay.
we want the mambo. ICC,
Cause everybody
we want the mambo,
does the mambo.
ICC, we want the mambo. ICC, we want the mambo. ICC, we want the mambo, mambo. The old folks do want the mambo. The old folks do want the mambo.
Well, the doc said grandma was too
But
old.
that mambo music made a rock and roll.
She did a mambo like a schoolgirl in her teens. She even made the neighbors scream
We want the mambo.
doing the mambo.
ICC, we want the mambo. ICC, we want the mambo. ICC, we want the mambo, mambo.
Thank you for calling USA Prime Credit. My name is Peggy.
You have problem?
Peggy? Okay, I've been waiting for 15 minutes for someone to...
Pick up.
You're tenacious like bull. I like.
Please hold.
No, Peg...
So pretty.
Want better customer service? Switch to Discover, where you can talk to a real person in less than a minute. It pays to Discover.
USA Prime Credit. My name Peggy. You have problem?
Peggy? Okay. Lost my card. Need a replacement sent
To my hotel tomorrow.
1 month.
Let's try this again.
Do you believe in yourself?
Yes.
I believe in you too, Peggy.
You could be my go-to guy
Or girl. Now stand tall and get out.
to replace my card.
You inspire me. 3 weeks.
Okay, let's start over.
Want better customer service? Switch to Discover, ranked #1 in customer loyalty. It pays to Discover.
Hello, my she-devils and demons. This is Nurse Hatchet, she-wolf of the Wolf Pack.
Alrighty, so that was our music break. All good, Mr. Highland?
Yes.
All right. So are we ready for... It's time, Mr. Highland.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Highland goes all over the internet, all over the internet for that weird, that strange, that horror news. So what's...
Well, first I have a little news item from our guest that he just gave me. He says, you may want to share this on your horror news roundup. There is a new show being made called Tales of the Walking Dead. It will be an episodic anthology series like Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, with each episode being one-shot stories in the zombie apocalypse world of The Walking Dead. So,
Nice.
who knows when that's going to happen, but look for it. And, let's see, all these audio books are currently out now. Toplin by Michael McDowell, Katie by Michael McDowell, The Godsend by Bernard Taylor, that was made into a movie, and The Keep by F. Paul Wilson. That's finally been narrated for an audiobook, finally. So look for those if you're interested. And this isn't really horror news. This is something I've discovered recently. This is a book of stories that was read by the Shelleys, Lord Byron, and Polidori when they were when they came up with their ideas for stories that fateful night in the early 19th century. And this is called Phantasmagoriana, Tales of the Dead.
Nice.
Luckily, this was translated into English. It was first written in German, then translated into French, and finally translated into English. So, anyone who's interested in that, can look for that. That's pretty much all I have. What about you?
Ready. Well, before I get into my merchandising news, I actually got a piece of news. It's not exactly horror news. It's more general fandom news. You know, most people know that yesterday was Star Trek Day, right, Mr. Highland?
I guess.
Yeah, Mr. Highland loves Star Trek Day. You know, he puts on his pointy ears and stuff and runs around town, you know, with them on. Unfortunately, he couldn't do it this year, so he's very unhappy. But anyways, yeah, this year Star Trek Day. The thing was that CBS Viacom was doing kind of like what they've been doing with, what people have been doing with horror conventions this year. And what they had is they had a whole bunch of panels that, free panels that you could go to on YouTube. And you could type in and talk to the stars and stuff and that from Star Trek and stuff and listen to them, via Zoom, talking about the new shows and stuff and, all that stuff. Well, I know Mr. Highland's going to be very upset about this. But they had pretty much everybody from all the different shows, except for one person that they snubbed. There was one person that they snubbed, and not only that, CBS Viacom, when they made the poster for the event, they made this person real tiny and in the background. And they put like Spock and Michael Burnham from the new show big and stuff, and made the other ones medium. But this person, they put him in the background. Mr. Highland, you want to guess who that was?
Scotty?
Nope.
Am I close?
He's dead. William Shatner.
Oh.
William Shatner. You will not believe this. Yeah, I hold down your anger, Mr. Highland. I know, I don't hulk out. But yeah, they invited, from the original show, from the original series, they invited George Takei and Walter Koenig. They couldn't invite Nichelle Nichols because of her medical problems right now and because of her court battle. But, yeah, they forgot William Shatner. And yesterday, which was Star Trek Day, William Shatner went on to Twitter and he went off. He full on went off. So it's Star Trek Day and I'm Captain Kirk and you don't have me there. You didn't invite me to do any panels. You didn't invite anything. They had a panel on class, the original series. No William Shatner. It was like they totally, just fluffed him off. They pushed the new Star Trek. They pushed Lower Decks, which, oh God, give me a fucking break. It's a fucking parody. I fucking hate that thing. They had a whole panel on the new Captain Pike series. They had an entire panel on Star Trek Discovery, where they released the new trailer for this season. Looks fantastic. But yeah. And so Bill went and he said, to Kurzman, the one that runs Star Trek right now, he says, "Oh, Mr. Kurzman, look at this," because they put him in a little tiny thing and put him up in the corner, tinier than any other actor on the poster. And so he went and he in one shot he went and he zoomed in on it and made him the correct size. He goes, "Yeah, well, this should have been the correct size." And he goes, "But the fact is, the way that you've treated me, this is the correct poster." And he took himself out of the poster. He photoshopped himself out of the poster completely. So yeah, what's your feelings on this, Mr. Highland? Because I know you're a Star Trek fan. With me, I'm disgusted with it. I know how Bill feels.
Yeah, well, what you're saying is valid.
Yeah, I mean it's horrible.
Yeah.
Because, yes, I do understand that he and Walter and George have issues with each other, but it would have been fun actually having the three of them. It would have been an unfair advantage though, because, usually when they get into a panel like that, it's usually Nichelle Nichols that keeps them moderated. Oh yeah, because George and Walter hate Bill. They hate the passion. Yeah, well, Bill's lightened up and he's not as egotistical as he used to be. He's getting old and he's lightening up a little bit. And he's tried to, give him the olive leaf, but you know how it is. Anyway, so I just thought that, and, I want to wish everyone a belated happy Star Trek Day. So anyways, let's get on to the good stuff, because I know Mr. Highland's all excited.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. So horror news, and we got merchandise for you. Party City is carrying a dead Georgie animatronic from
Oh my God.
Chapter 2. It will set you back $159.99, but she'll be the envy of your neighborhood. The life-size decoration stands 4.2 tall, 27 wide. Georgie moves the red balloon to reveal his zombified face with one light up eye while playing sounds from the movie. Oh my God! You know, I know, Mr. Highland, you wanted that for your apartment, right?
No.
You know, put him in the corner for you, and you know, you got your little Georgie right next to your Pennywise. Georgie! I found you, Georgie. Alrighty, next. Unless you've been living under a rock, perhaps one chained to the bottom of a lake, you're likely aware that the Friday the 13th rights are currently entangled in a messy, years-long legal battle between the original director-producer Sean S. Cunningham and his screenwriter Victor Miller. Yeah, we know that. You know, I've known that for years. Victor wants his rights back. Not only does that mean Jason won't be slashing his way back to the big screen anytime soon, but the dispute has also halted numerous other Friday the 13th related media, including Friday the 13th, the game. I don't know the legalities behind it, but somehow the OP Games, formerly US Apology, managed to create and release a new board game based on the beloved franchise. Friday the 13th, Horror at Camp Crystal Lake. Fine print in the rulebook reveals what is perhaps the legal loophole. The game is based on Ports, originally released by Passbook Game Studios in 2015, but redesigned to fit the Friday the 13th theme. Regardless, horror fans will be happy to have more Jason Voorhees in their lives. So I gather Mr. Highland's going to go out and get that game so that you can... Oh, well, here we go. Here's something for you, Mr. Highland. Funko's second wave of pop pins include Ghostbusters, Disney, Golden Girls, and My Hero Academy, due out in December. Each enamel pin is 4 inches tall and includes a display stand. The Ghostbusters line includes Dana Barrett in gold enamel, Louis Tully, silver enamel, Terror Dog, brass enamel, and transparent fill, Slimer, gold enamel, and jelly fill, and Stay Puft, gold enamel, and fox suede. Yeah. I figure Mr. Highland's going to go after those. Sounds good. Alrighty, so Funko has also created a Halloween edition of Lilo and Stitch Funko cereal, due out on September 16th exclusively at FYE. It's available to pre-order for $14.99. Red multigrain cereal includes a mini pop vinyl of Stitch dressed as Dracula with a jack-o'-lantern. So, Mr. Highland, you going to be dragging out $14.99?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, this one I know you're going to want. I know, because this is some favorites of yours. Funko will release The Boys Pop Figures. In March 2021, the line includes Homelander, Starlight, with glow-in-the-dark chase variant, Hughie, Billy Butcher, A-Train, Translucent, and Queen Mauve. There will also be 3 retail exclusive, Homelander with laser eyes, Target exclusive, Starlight in bodysuit, Amazon exclusive, and Bloody Billy Butcher, Walmart exclusive. Now I know Mr. Highland loves The Boys. You know.
Well, I haven't seen the TV show, but I've read the comics.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Alrighty, Vixen by Micheline Pitt has launched a Pet Cemetery collection based on both the 1989 and 2019 adaptations of the Stephen King novel. The line includes purses modeled after Church the Cat for $85, a book $75, Graveyard Cross for $49, plus t-shirt $28, long sleeve shirts $48, sleeves $48, button-up shirts $72, skirts $96, and dresses $142. So you can dress up in, ladies out there, you can dress up in Pet Cemetery style, and oh my God, that church bag is so cute. You'll love it. Seriously, it's very cute. Fright Rags, new Halloween design by Yannick Bouchard, parodies the Babysitters Club book covers. It features on t-shirts and $28 and hoodies $8. They also have a sliding enamel pin by Mike Malloy and Ian Wallace featuring Mike Myers and his favorite hedge. Plus restocks of apparel from Halloween, Halloween 2, and Halloween 3 Seasons of the Witch. And finally, Mesco's Toys will add Chucky based on his appearance in Child's Play 2 to its MDS mega scale figure line due out between March and May 2021. It is available for pre-order for $98. The 15-inch doll features 11 points of articulation and a discrete button on the back that makes it speak 7 phrases from the film. An interchangeable knife hand and knife accessory are included. It's packaged in a film-inspired window box. Alrighty, so that's that for that. Now it is time for Scream Factory releases. Our first one is called Relic on Blu-ray for $18.98. Oh, it also has a DVD, Mr. Highland, so you'll appreciate that.
Yeah.
Synopsis: enigmatic, mournful, deeply creepy. Jessica Cage variety exerts an ever-tightening hold on the imagination. David Rooney, The Hollywood Reporter. Emily Mortimer, Robin Nevin, and Bella Hoskot star in an unforgettable new spin on the haunted house movie from first-time writer-director Natalie Eka James. When elderly mother Edna inexplicably vanishes, her daughter Kay and daughter Sam rush to the family's decaying country home, finding clues of her increasing dementia scattered around the house in her absence. After Edna returns just as mysteriously as she disappeared, Kay's concerned that her mother seems unwilling or unable to say where she's been, clashes with Sam's unabashed enthusiasm to have her grandma back. As Edna's behavior turns increasing volatile, both begin to sense an insidious presence in the house that might take control of her. Sounds interesting. Alrighty, next one is one that I think you'll really appreciate, Mr. Highland. It is a collector's edition, The Brides of Dracula, with an exclusive poster. And oh my God, this poster looks really good. You know, it's got Peter Cushing on there. It's got the guy that played the son of Dracula and one of the vampire girls. That is not bad. $28.43 for the full thing, and you get the exclusive poster. Synopsis: superbly acted and featuring lush colors and wonderful sets, this standout Hammer horror is a classic all on its own from The Terror Trap. Marianne, a beautiful young girl, is stranded en route to a teaching assignment in Eastern Europe. She is persuaded to spend the night at a nearly deserted castle of the mysterious Baroness Meister. In the castle, Marianne accidentally discovers a man chained to the wall in his room. The Baroness explains only that he is her sick and feeble-minded son. Unable to get any further information from her or the maid, Marianne steals a key and sets him free. But once unbound, the man, Baron Meister, fiendishly recruits the undead for his evil purposes, while Marianne and Dr. Van Helsing try to stop him in this Hammer classic film. Alrighty, so that's it for the Scream Factory stuff. Sorry, there wasn't a lot more. Alrighty, Mr. Highland, I know it is time for movie reviews, so what you got?
I was only able to watch one movie for the show. And I don't know if you've seen this one or not, but it's called The Brain from 1988.
No, actually.
Okay. Well, they recently remastered it, I think only on Blu-ray. But anyway, it is definitely a B movie in every sense of the word. I could be wrong, but I think they shot this in Canada. But anyway, it involves this guy who's a prankster, and he does one prank too many, and he gets in trouble and at school, and he has to go to this institute because of his behavior. And before that, there's a really cheesy section of this cheesy part of this where this girl, she's hallucinating and she thinks there's tentacles coming out of the walls. And she's stabbing them, and she accidentally stabs her mother, and she goes through the window of her bedroom, and she hits the ground, she dies, and that scene is really cheesy. And of course, hence the title, The Brain. There's this big giant fake brain where the effects of it are incredibly cheap and cheesy. I mean, the effects of the movie are really bad. I mean, you'd think that when they remastered the movie, that a complimentary joint would be included, a big one.
Why? Because you need to be on drugs to actually enjoy the film, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. So they get him hallucinating, and he's seeing these tentacles coming out of various things, the walls, his car. At least they're not coming out of something else, out of him. That would have been ridiculous. And he gets framed for murders, and he's running around trying to avoid people. So he ends up going back to the Institute to clear his name and take out the big giant brain, and the head of the Institute, who turns out to be some sort of monster or alien or whatever, when he gets his head knocked off. Let's see what else. There's a lack of blood. I mean, when characters get killed, I mean, you'd think that there would be tons of blood squirting and shooting all over the place, but there isn't. Let's see what else. Yeah, the effects of the brain are really bad. It's just oh God, it's like a funhouse type of brain. So watch this if you want a good laugh. If you're having a movie party where you're showing really bad B movies, obscure horror B movies from the 80s, include this one. As for a rating, I would give it a 1.5.
1.5 on the Oogie Boogie scale, huh?
Yes.
Okie doke. So only one this time, huh?
Yes.
That's amazing, because usually you have like 3 or something.
Not all the time.
Nope. Same with me. I mean, I lucked out because I decided to watch a couple of films yesterday. And so I'm doing reviews on them. And my first one that I'm doing is one that is done by an incredible director that I really admire. His name's Ansel Farage, and you would probably remember him, Mr. Highland, because I've talked about Ansel before. He's the one that did the 2 recent Dr. Mabuse films.
I haven't seen him.
Oh my God. Ansel is an incredible director. I mean, he can take a tiny budget and he does miracles with them. His Dr. Mabuse films are just stunning. The visual and stuff is just stunning on him, and he goes for film noir feel to it, heavy in shadows and stuff. So very good. This time he went for something a little bit different, to get away from doing the same thing that he did with his two Dr. Mabuse films. This time he did something in line with films like Blood on Satan's Claw and Witchmaster General type. And so his film is called Loon Lake. And you can find it to watch for free on Tubi TV. And something I highly recommend it. It's a beautifully done ghost story. It tells the story of a gentleman named Lewis Olson who travels to southwest Minnesota seeking peace in the rural countryside, after he's dealing with the death of his wife. And he goes there to get away from the city, to get away from everything that reminds him of his wife. And he goes to this this town, and his neighbor across the way is played by David Selby from Dark Shadows. You know him as Quentin Collins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the thing is that what ends up happening is Lewis ends up he wants to go to this one lake, and he goes to the wrong lake. He goes to this one called Loon Lake. And Loon Lake is right where a cemetery is. And it just happens to be the cemetery where they've buried the supposed local witch, Mary Jane Trelinden. And the thing is that the story goes that if you walk over her grave 3 times, you will die in 3 days. Well, unfortunately, not knowing anything, Lewis he's shooting pictures around the place, and he accidentally does walk over her grave 3 times. And later on in the story, he finds out about Mary Jane, and he hears the story about how the local pastor had discovered that she was the witch and had killed his son. And so he has her dragged, and he has the townspeople chop off her head. And it takes 3 chops to take off her head. And the thing is that what ends up happening is that night, the night that, after he kills Mary Jane, the church catches on fire, and the pastor, who is also played by David Selby, is horribly burned, and he dies 3 days later. His wife is actually played by Catherine Lee Scott from Dark Shadows. You know her, Maggie Evans. There, Mr. Highland. Yeah. So Catherine Lee Scott is in it. Yeah, Ansel is a big fan of Dark Shadows, and he brings them into his movies. You know, he had pretty much almost the entire living cast in the Dr. Mabuse films. But anyway, so the thing is that the story takes place that weird things start happening to Lewis, you know, because of the fact that he's only got 3 days to live. And he keeps seeing his wife, his dead wife, and he keeps seeing Mary Jane and that. Anyways, I'm not going to ruin the ending of the film. All I can say is that, you know, David Selby does a fantastic job on this. The guy that plays Lewis, Nathan Wilson, he does an incredible job, you know, because he pretty much is the moving force of the story. And then, of course, you know, we have a wonderful performance done by Kelly Friend Decker, who plays Mary Jane Terlinden. So, you know, seriously, Mr. Highland, just go over to Tubi TV, check it out. It's there, and it's well worth watching. Loon Lake, Loon Lake.
How do they advertise the channel? Tubi or not Tubi?
Tubi TV. Anyway, so on our Oogie Boogie scale, I give this a 5. Definitely a 5. You know, Ansel does a fantastic job, and he did this on a shoestring budget with only 3 people. I mean, the main actors in the film had to help him as crew, literally, to do this film. And as well as this thing turned out, it's like, whoa. You know, this is one of the guys that I honestly think is going to become one of the next masters of horror if he keeps going the way he's going. Seriously. Alrighty, so my next one, oh, you're going to love this.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. You're going to love this because this movie is from Russia. And it's brand new. It just came out a few days ago. But I managed to get to see it because I really wanted to see it. It came out July 24th. And I've been all excited to see this. It's called Sputnik. And it's a Russian sci-fi film. And what it is about is it's about a cosmonaut. And the thing is that he and his associate are coming back to Earth from being at a space station. This is in 1985. And an alien creature breaks into their pod and gets into the guy's body. So it's a symbiont. And he survives the crash. His associate has had his head split off. And he ends up, they've got it, they find out about the symbiont. They've got him in a secret base area, and they recruit in a psychiatrist because they want to understand what's going on with this guy. So they find this female psychiatrist that's a no-nonsense one, and bring her to the secret base. She's in trouble, and she's almost about ready to lose her job. And you know how it is in Russia. You don't want to lose your job. So they said that they'll clear her out, clear her up. But anyways, what ends up happening is she starts working with the cosmonaut. And the thing is with this symbiont, the cosmonaut is fine during the day. But what ends up happening is at night, around the same time every night, around 3:00 in the morning, the symbiont comes out through the guy's throat. And I mean, it's this just incredibly fantastic looking symbiont creature. I mean, it's CGI, but it is just done brilliantly. I mean, it looks like it's alive, and it's just brilliantly created. It's like the highlight of this film. I mean, the filmmaking is fantastic. That lots of shadows and stuff, lots of and the acting is wonderful. Unfortunately, you have to watch this thing with subtitles because everything's in Russian, which drove me nuts because this film is heavy on dialogue. Extremely heavy on dialogue.
You don't like foreign films?
Oh, I love foreign films, but the thing is, I mean, lucky part of this is that whenever the symbiont's around, nobody talks. So, you can focus on the symbiont and stuff, and it, looking at it and go, whoa, this thing is fantastic. So anyways, this woman psychiatrist learns more about him, and they share a lot of together. He desperately wants to get free so that he can take care of his son. His girlfriend died, and he did not even know that she was pregnant. He did not know that he had a son. It was, this was a girlfriend from a few years before, and he's got like a 4-year-old son. And he wants to go take, raise his son. But he's stuck with this symbiont in him. And the thing is that the Russian government is trying to separate him from the symbiont, but the problem is that every time they get separated, they both start weakening, and they can't survive without each other. Though the symbiont is keeps lasting a little bit longer and evolving a little bit more each time he comes out. You know, so he's actually getting bigger and stuff. And at one point, he even is able to stand up on two legs. And it's something. It is absolutely something just stunning. And you hear about, and you learn about the psychiatrist and how she was orphaned, just like the cosmonaut, he was orphaned. And so she relates to him and she wants to help him, but it's a bad situation because of, you have the government and all this. Very Russian. It's a very Russian film, very slow burn, but different from an American film that, what an American film would be on, doing the same subject matter. So for me, there was a lot of startled stuff in that and a lot of tension. So very good film. This is another one that I will give a 5 on the Oogie Boogie scale because it is just awesome-tacular. Seriously, Mr. Highland. If you ever get a chance to watch Sputnik, watch it. Because, the ending is just outstanding. Alrighty, so that's all the movies that I've got. I only got 2. But anyways, any last words there, Mr. Highland, or anything you want to?
Yes. I'd like to thank our listeners for listening and tune in next time where we are going to be having our season finale, and it is going to be quite the epic surprise.
Yes, it is. I remember. It's.
Don't tell them what it's about.
No, I'm not. It's going to be one of these rather epic season finales, just like the last one, but totally different subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't get as psychological.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't take 5 hours this time.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Mr. Highland will want to talk for 5 hours.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Alrighty, so anyways, yeah, so be ready for the season finale next month. And as always, keep America strong, watch horror films, and we will catch you next month. Enjoy.
The love that you bring me along. The pain that you gives me a home. Do you wanna stay by my side? Do you want me to turn and hide? We are disappearing inside, seeing pictures of our goodbyes. We believe that our love will survive the pain. disappointment down. I wanna repress your goodbye, goodbye. The design, we broke them all. The dreams when you see that goodbyes aren't for long. Please follow me to the borders of destiny. I don't wanna break from your side. The falling ground screams goodbye. Do you love me? Do you hate me? Do you wanna believe me? Do you think that you don't need me? Do you wanna deceive me? I can't think that it's all over. Don't wanna forget. I can't live this disappointment down. I wanna repress your goodbye, goodbye. The design, we broke them all. The dreams when you see that goodbyes aren't for long. Please follow me to the borders of destiny. I don't wanna break from your side. The falling ground screams goodbye. Please follow me to the borders of destiny. I don't wanna break from your side. The falling ground screams goodbye, goodbye. The design, we broke the mold. The dreams when you see that goodbye soon for long.